Welcome UCLA, welcome Harbor, all of you and all the ships at sea. Today we have a presentation by Dr. Judith Gasson. Dr. Gasson is director of the Cancer Center. She's professor of medicine and biological chemistry and is a senior associate dean for research. In addition to all of those titles in her own right, a very accomplished investigator and scientist. She'll be speaking today with a topic that we call Resources for Research Scientists at UCLA. Dr. Gasson, thanks very much for doing this.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hyatt. And welcome to all of you. I hope that this can be a conversation after I present a few slides directing you to where you can access research resources on a variety of websites here at UCLA with links. This is a challenging time, and all of us in the Dean's office are committed to providing an environment where you can achieve your highest level of success possible. And so we're not just here today, but we're here pretty much every day, and we're available to answer any questions that you might have or to do anything we can to help you be successful. So without further ado, there we go. I'm going to walk through the external research opportunities. There we go. Extramural research opportunities, intramural research opportunities, a little bit about limited submission, shared resources and information here on campus, graduate student and postdoc support, the faculty database, and the weekly message digest. And again, this is all material that's available on the website, and also these slides are also uploaded onto the Dean's Office website under the diversity tab. So I think everyone in the room probably knows that the major sources of extramural research funding are the NIH, the National Science Foundation, the charities like the American Cancer Society, American Heart Association, and so on. These are for what we call at the NIH an investigator-initiated or an R01 grant, which for many decades has been sort of the primary objective of basic science and clinical science researchers to support their work. As science is changing, there are more applications from teams of scientists that are being submitted, and we certainly want to encourage that here at UCLA in a variety of ways. And in fact, UCLA has recognized team science in the promotions process as being an important component of the work that our faculty do, and provides an opportunity for you to describe your participation in team science. And so other sources of support for team science would include both U and P grants that are funded out of the NIH. Lily's shaking her head. She's been on a program project grant that originated out of Caltech and UCLA collaboration for a number of years. And the program project grants will support multiple R01 level projects. And in addition, they'll support cores, which can be very valuable to the specific type of work that's going on. The U grants are like program grants, but they also involve significant input from the NIH staff. They'll come and visit you, and they'll work with you to design your program, and so on and so forth. And so these are very valuable in terms of, even as a junior investigator, you may not want to be the PI on one of these. However, you may be able to successfully be a component part of a larger grant, and it's a great way to get started with NIH funding. There's other government sources of funding, the Department of Defense, Department of Energy, the Defense Department DARPA program. In addition, you should consider diversifying your portfolio and going after foundation funding in addition to federal funding. And some of the large foundations are the Howard Hughes, Keck Foundation, et cetera. There's also smaller local foundations, and I'm going to show you where you can access all this information. And then industry and private donors. So those are sort of the range of sources of support for your research, and they're all good, and trying to get some from each of these different sources is a great way to fund your research program going forward. So how do you get information about what funding opportunities there are? I think you'll see that this information is being provided to you in a variety of ways, and I can show you, if you've not subscribed to some of the opportunities to get this information sent to your email box, I'll show you today how to do that. And then all you have to really do is scroll through it and look for anything that might have applicability to the research that you're trying to fund. So the Office of Tech Transfer would be working with you if you're interested in industry sponsor for your research, and they would help to work out the parameters of that type of support. The University of California Office of Tech Transfer has helpful information that I'll show you in a minute. Jim Economo is the Vice Chancellor. Come in, there's snacks right over here. Jim Economo is the Vice Chancellor for Research, and his office works very closely with the Dean's office to pull funding opportunities from a variety of places, to package them by subject area, and then to push them out where they're accessible to the faculty members. So this is the Vice Chancellor for Research, Jim Economo's website, and this just shows a page. I don't expect you to be able to see it, but it just shows a page that's listed as funding opportunities. This isn't working very well. And you can sign up on this page to get an email, this is just an example of the types of email they send out. And in fact, I got one right before I came today. I'm signed up for the Health Sciences email list. And so this will come right into your inbox. It'll have news and events. And then it will go on to divide research opportunities into basic research, clinical and translational research, and other types of opportunities. So it's a very convenient way to find out what's coming through and is available for you to apply. And obviously all of these links are live, and they'll take you right to the site where you can read more about what's required in terms of the application. This is the School of Medicine research website, and we're going to spend quite a bit of time going through all of the topics that are listed over here on the left-hand side, and the types of information that you can access through the School of Medicine. So the first thing that you might want to do is and we're using the research tab here, okay? And the first thing you might want to do is you might want to search by the subject area in which you're working. And so in this mock-up, the search was done for cancer, and the drop-down menu gives you an opportunity to say what type of funding you're looking for, what type of submission, what category, and if you just select all, then it will respond to you, and it will link you to sites that are funding research in this area at this time. And again, the links are live, and you can go right to, for example, the Department of Defense Breast Cancer Research Program, the Department of Defense Prostate Cancer Research Program, and so on. And so this is something that you can check back with from time to time, and just to see what's out there that you may not have thought about in the past. Up at the top, on the top bar here, you can see where the circle is the CTSI tab. CTSI stands for Clinical Translational Science Institute, and UCLA was awarded a CTSA grant in 2011. Steve Dubinet is the PI on the CTSA grant, and it links the UCLA main campus with Cedars-Sinai, Harbor UCLA, and Charles Drew University together to promote all aspects of biomedical research. And it provides a large amount of infrastructure support, but it also provides lots of independent investigator funding. If you're having a conference, they have funding for you to hold a conference and to hold it on the campus. If you want pilot funding, you can apply through the CTSI for a pilot grant that's $30,000. If you want to use one of the shared resources that we'll be talking about, but you don't, and let's say you're trying to get preliminary data and you want to use a shared resource to do a screen, or you want to get some flow cytometry data, or you want to make a mouse or get a mouse or something like that, you can apply for their voucher fund, and they will very rapidly review your application, provide you with a voucher to use one of the shared resources on campus to get preliminary data so that you can put together an application for longer-term funding. So the CTSA is a great place. This is their homepage, and you can go in here and it will give you all of the deadlines and all of the different types of funding that are available intramurally right here on campus. And it's always good to start out and try to get some intramural funding, try to get some preliminary data, and as you're moving through the system, getting more and more grant opportunities. This is the David Geffen School of Medicine Seed Grant Program. Historically, it was called the Oppenheimer Program. This year, we're going to extend the umbrella to cover multiple programs. We solicit the applications in the fall. These seed grants or pilot grants are for new projects. They can be for junior faculty. They can also be for more senior faculty. And these grants are funded at the level of $30,000. Some of them are targeted. For example, there are grants that are specific for eye research. There's grants that are specific for complementary and alternative medicine. And then there's also general grants for talented investigators that have a great idea that want to get started and generate some preliminary data. Then there's a symposium once a year. Everyone who's been funded during that past year comes and gives a poster presentation, gets to know the other faculty. It's a very nice event. And the donors who've contributed the funds come and they look at the posters and they meet people and so on. So the RFA for that will probably come out sometime over the summer. As I mentioned, you can form partnerships with industry, and you can develop standardized partnerships with industry to fund your work, or you can also apply for something called the University of California Proof of Concept Program. And the next slide shows you how to find out information about that. This is the University of California Office of the President website. And if you look under programs, you can see Proof of Concept Program Commercialization Gap Grants. And so this is a way to apply for funding if you're trying to work in an area that you believe has the potential for commercialization. And it's a great program. A number of our investigators have benefited from it. So now we're back on the School of Medicine website, and we've moved into the tab for cores. And what you can see here down the side is all different categories of cores. I think Chris Denny and his colleagues went and surveyed and polled and found all of the cores that they could find on campus, and they're all linked into this one particular site. I also see right here that Harbor UCLA is here as well. And so you can search for whatever shared resource or core you're interested in. This is what the menu looks like. And in this particular case, we've selected the molecular screening shared resource. And this takes you right to the page. The molecular screening shared resource is really cool. It's run by Ken Bradley, who came here as an anthrax researcher, and Robert Damoiseau, who we hired away from Novartis. And you can't see in this little tiny picture, but it's located in the CNSI, and it's all robotic equipment. It can handle pretty much any format of plate. They have commercial libraries. They have proprietary libraries from our chemists here on campus. They have siRNA libraries. Everything's very, very highly quality controlled. And any readout that you can generate in your biological assay, they will be able to monitor at the end of the screen. So it's really, really, really a great shared resource. And it's something that it's primarily designed for you to be able to find a molecule that perturbs your biological system for the use in your laboratory. However, that molecule might form a starting compound for something that could eventually turn into a diagnostic, a biomarker, or even a therapeutic. So it's a great resource to have. Okay, we've moved down over here to graduate postdoc training awards. And again, what you're going to find, we have lots of training grants here at UCLA. And this is great for graduate students and postdocs that are in your group. If you're able to get them on a training grant, obviously that goes a long way to support their salary, and it helps that whatever funds you have available go further to hire the next person. And this is just to give you a sense that we have a wide variety of training grants and a wide variety of topics. So here's one on developmental hematology, here's tumor immunology, this is training in virology, medical genetics. So we have them in stem cells and cancer. I think we have training grants in HIV/AIDS. So this is a great resource as well. Okay, we have a searchable faculty database, which is located on the Dean's Office page as well. And so if you're looking to find someone who you've heard of, but you don't really know how to reach them, you can use this. But also if you're looking to find somebody if you're wondering, do we have somebody here that's an expert in vascular biology, for example? You can type in the keyword, and it'll search the database, and it will pull up people who are a match for that keyword search. And so that might be a person that you want to find out if they could collaborate with you. Maybe they have an assay or a reagent or a suggestion or something that can be helpful to you. For those of you who have been here for a while, I'm sure you realize that UCLA is a very collaborative environment. The bar to collaborate is very low. It's very, very easy to, people are quite interactive, and for the most part, if you reach out to somebody, they will respond to you and they're happy to talk to you, because researchers like nothing better than to talk about their research, so why not? So in this case, we pulled up my department chair in biological chemistry, Kelsey Martin, and so it gives you some background information on her, and then it also talks, this pointer is completely worthless, it also talks about what her research activities are, so you can read a more detailed explanation of what the person is doing. Okay, this is the weekly message digest, and this is put together in the School of Medicine every week, and the goal is to have a very timely digest. So the problem is that each unit on campus sends out a seminar notice, and so you have 500 emails and you don't read any of them. And so this is an attempt to consolidate lots of information from a very large, very busy campus into one thing, so that you can scroll through it once a week and you can highlight the things that you want to attend or participate in. And so what you can see is it's divided into several sections. The headlines have major symposia, there's CME courses, seminars, announcements, study recruitment, classified ads. It's really quite a comprehensive document. And down here are these two little symbols that you can see that you can click on, and in one case it'll download to your Outlook calendar, and the other it'll download to Outlook, or it'll download to your calendar. Okay, so you don't even have to do anything except click on it, and it'll pop into your calendar for you. On the Dean's Office website, on the left-hand side, there's a tab for information for people who carry out animal research. And this is a very useful site that will help you transfer your grant to UCLA, fill out the animal approvals that you need to have animals. There's training requirements, vivarium access, a lot of information on this site, as you can see. It goes through transgenic mice, heart physiology, imaging center information. So it's really very useful if you're going to be using mice in your research and you need to find out more about what resources or shared resources are available to support your work. Okay. This is the, so we've gone through the faculty database, the funding information, the Oppenheimer program, graduate students and postdoc training programs. Now we're looking at faculty resources. And again, here's the faculty database, the industry relations, the vice chancellor for research. So this is a collection of a large number of sites that you can link to find out state, local, national, and international resources to support your research. This is the policies and procedures tab. And so this is a convenient way to find out information about contracts and grants, use of technology, administrative policies, animal research, human research, clinical trials administration, and so on. This is the online training portal. I'm sure that you're all aware that certain types of training are required depending on what kind of work you're doing and the people that are in your organization are doing. And this is a place that you can find online training in a variety of areas. You can also find the EH&S Online Learning Center, the DLAM Center, Research Administration for Contracts and Grants. Again, these are things that are required by the campus, but the desire to have it all in one place where all of you would be able to conveniently locate it, and so they've been aggregated. Now this is my last slide on the links to the resources, and then I hope we can have a discussion. This is the CTSI, again, the Clinical Translational Science Initiative or Institute, And they started out put together something that Dr. Lenore Arab heads that's called the Rapid Response Team. And the origin was that there are federal funds available in an organization that's called PCORI, Patient-Centered Research Institute. And the PCORI was putting out an RFA, and then the application was due 30 or 40 days later. And so clearly we needed a way to quickly push these RFAs out so that the faculty who could apply would be aware of them. And so the Rapid Response Team was born. And the Rapid Response Team works with the CTSA, the Dean's Office, and the Vice Chancellor's Office to put out options quickly, grant offerings to the faculty, and also tries to identify, using keyword searches, faculty members who might be appropriate to match them to that funding opportunity. So the rapid response, I don't think I have another slide after, I do have another slide. So this is the type of information that they would put out. It has the funding opportunity here. It has the release date, the expiration date, the type of funding, as you can see. So there's NIH, there's PCORI, there's the AHRQ or ARC. It has the activity. So here's P grants and U grants, right? Here's training opportunities, and it has the amount that you can apply for and the duration. So that's been very helpful on the front end of getting information out to faculty members about opportunities that either have a very short turnaround time or where the amount of funding that's available is large, and we want to encourage people to form teams and to go in for these applications. And again, being part of a team as a junior faculty member is frequently a great way to get started on NIH funding. What the Dean's Office is now doing is we're providing 2 additional staff to help actually assemble these applications. This is happening now, it has not happened yet, but our plan is we're going to assemble high quality boilerplate language that describes the facilities at UCLA, that describes the facilities of the School of Medicine, the resources and environment, and those types of things. So if you're putting together a multi-component grant, you don't have to sit down at a blank computer screen and start out from scratch. You can actually access really high quality professional information that describes the operations here at UCLA. We're also, for large multi-component grants, we're also going to be providing infrastructure support to gather up the biosketches, help put together the budgets, help put together the budget justifications, do all of the non-science parts so that the scientists can work on the science part. And if you've ever done one of these grants, you know that doing the science, you have the scientific sections written and you think you're 90% there, but in fact you're only 50% there. That trying to get all the biosketches and everything in the right format and all of those sorts of things, writing administrative cores and those types of activities. We'll facilitate hooking you up with biostatisticians, any sorts of other parts of the application that would strengthen it. We can get you to those people, get those sections written, and really put out a very high quality application the first time around. So we're hopeful that we haven't announced it publicly yet because we're not quite staffed up, but we're hopeful that this will really help people who would be interested in putting together this type of grant that can get a group of really good people together, but who would be overwhelmed by the thought of sitting down at their computer and trying to write a 500 or 800 page grant. So we're moving as quickly as we can to get this up and running, and we really hope this will help people get high quality applications out. So those are the resources that have been assembled to let you know about, hello, to let you know about what different kinds of funding opportunities, what different types of shared resources can support your work. And so I'd be more than happy at this point in time to start a discussion about what types of things, any questions that you might have, but also any thoughts that you might have for what I and the Dean's Office can do to help you be more successful in generating funding for your research.